Hello and welcome. I wanted to go back to my youth and tell you about our special occasion dinners in the house that I grew up in. And most of them consisted of a roast beef of some sort, tenderloin, prime rib, whatever, sirloin. And I was always accompanied with Yorkshire pudding because of our English descent. That's what we did. And Yorkshire pudding is just it's a popover. You probably had a popover in restaurants and stuff, but the way we did it in our house was to make it a little more custardy, so it was sort of like a potato or starchy side dish. And I was at the supermarket not too long ago, and they had this beautiful big fat sirloin strip steak, so I bought it. And it was getting on time to use it, so I thought, what goes with strip steak? Like Yorkshire. And then what else have I got a bunch of? Zucchini, hello. And so I decided, and I don't know why I never did this before, to add something to the Yorkshire to make it good. So what I've made today was a grilled sirloin strip steak that is accompanied by a zucchini Yorkshire pudding. And I was surprised at how good it came out because Yorkshire is technically something that's baked. It's, a chemical reaction between flour and eggs and milk. And I didn't know if adding, extra liquid to it would make it too runny, if I should alter the recipe at all. And I didn't, and it came out great. And I was very happy with the outcome. It was colorful and it was delicious and it was fun to make. So let's make some Yorkshire pudding, and you can have it at one of your next special occasion suppers. Recipes on the website, and here's the video. I'm going to start with a nice fat sirloin strip steak, well marbled as you can see. And just to show you the thickness, I took a side view, and I'm preheating my grill, and we're going to throw that on our hot grill. I sprayed the meat with a little Pam so it didn't stick. Now you want to place it at an angle and season it with salt and pepper. And there's our first angle. And then we're going to turn it the other direction. And that's going to make beautiful crisscross grill marks, as you can see. We're going to turn that over and repeat on the other side. And it came out really nice. And now we're going to make our zucchini Yorkshire pudding. As you can see, I had a bunch of zucchini. I decided to grate it all and freeze some of it for later use, which you'll see. And then I took about 2 cups of it and seasoned it very generously with salt. And I let that sit in the refrigerator overnight. And what the salt does is it pulls the liquid out of the zucchini. And once that liquid is pulled out, we're going to squeeze it dry. A kitchen towel lined with some paper towels. And then we're going to roll that up and squeeze the heck out of it, get all the moisture out of that we can. And while that is drying, we're going to make it. We're going to start with 4 large eggs. Now, this is my recipe for Yorkshire. I use 1 egg for every half cup of milk, so that equals 2 cups of milk. This was 2% milk, but you can use whole milk or skim milk or cream or whatever you want. We're going to whisk that together until it's very nicely blended. You don't want to see any of those yellow egg ribbons. Bing! And while we're doing that, we're going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. We're going to prepare a muffin pan with some Pam and some butter. And we're going to put that in the oven to melt that butter and preheat that pan. And now we add 1 cup of flour to the egg and milk mixture to complete our Yorkshire pudding batter. Whisk that together real well so there are no lumps. There still is. And now we're going to take our grated, squeezed, dried zucchini, and we're going to place a little handful of the zucchini in each one of the muffin cups. And the next thing we're going to do is season them with some salt and some pepper. Now we're going to add our batter to about 2/3 full in each cup. You might want to give that a little extra whisk before you pour it in, just to make sure it's nice and smooth. Now it goes in the oven for 25 minutes, and it gets all puffy and browned, and look how beautiful that is. And now we're going to serve it with our steak. That was a nice meal. And I had some extra batter. So what I did was to make some more Yorkshire. I took some of those drippings from the meat plate. There wasn't much left because I did it in the grill. When you have a roast beef, there's a lot more drippings. And you don't have to put the butter in, just the drippings. So I melted that to 1, preheat the pan, 2, melt the butter. And now we're going to add our batter to the pan. Season with salt and pepper. And bake it for 25 minutes. And puffed and browned. When you insert a knife into that, it should come out clean. That'll be nice to eat later because it's delicious.